story in Girard about some loud booms that some people believe are exploding. We've been following a story in Girard about some loud booms that some people believe are explosions in the city.
A neighbor last night told us it's been going on for years in the neighborhood just off Route 422 on Emma Street and also on Morris Avenue.
Steve Easy tells us people living there want answers.
For years now, people in Girard right around I-80 say they hear and feel explosions, but the one they felt Wednesday took it to another level.
It sounded like a big bomb going off. The floor actually shook. I was laying on the couch and it shook. The roof felt like it was going to come down on us.
Some of her neighbors have cracks in their foundations, crumbling exteriors, and they're wondering if it might be related. Superior Auto Body's right on the corner of Emma Street and 422, and Jared Latone says it happens on average a couple times a week.
It's kind of now just, oh, there's another one. Or it happened again. I mean, it's shaking walls here, knocking items off walls, setting car alarms off.
So could this be something more natural? YSU geology professor Dr. Jeffrey Dick says probably not.
If you're getting multiple banging sounds, that would have to be multiple earthquakes happening, and there would be good evidence for that. So I don't think it's an earthquake.
Emma Street isn't that far from a pretty heavy industrial site, but a lot of the people who live here say they're used to those kinds of noises by now. This is something completely different.
We don't know what it is. We can guess and say we think it's the gas tanks from the cars across the street, but we really don't know.
So, at least for now, the mystery continues, leaving a whole neighborhood on shaky ground. With more local news, I'm Steve.
Hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. So, the news clip that you just saw is one of many, and they do not stop. Every week, almost every day now, I'm getting more and more of these news clips, along with messages from viewers from all over the world, still asking the question, what is causing these mysterious rumbling booms that continue to shake houses, break windows, crack brick walls, and that in many cases, as I've been hearing lately, sound as if they are not coming from the sky, but from the ground itself. But we'll get more to that in a minute. So, this is a new clip that actually just occurred in my home state of Ohio. And if you've been following my other videos over these past months, you'll maybe notice a pattern, because many of these mysterious booms, most of them started out in the West. We would get a lot of them in California, Arizona, Texas, Nevada, then one or two down in Florida. And it just kind of worked its way up to the East Coast, and that's where we're starting to see them there. Michigan, now Ohio. And what's so interesting about this case is that before this massive rumble, there were no flashes of light, alright? Nothing seen in the sky, which is something that has been seen occurring in some of these mysterious booms. Some people will see these flashes of light just beforehand, but in a lot of them, no flash of light, as was in this case as well. And what's even more strange about this is that the residents of this town in Ohio, it's like a regular occurrence, where they are hearing these much smaller booms to the point where, it's just another everyday thing. They're almost to the point where they're ignoring it. But when they heard this big one, this giant one that literally started breaking off pieces of...
My name's Ross Cameron, and I'm the founder of Warrior Trading. Last year, I set out to prove that with the right education and a proven system, anyone could turn even the smallest amount of money into financial independence. I turned $583 into over $100,000 in 45 days, and the account is still growing. So how did I do it? I'll teach you the 3 biggest secrets in our next free webinar. Click the link to register, and I look forward to seeing you there.
We are Mouse, and we've designed a phone case that can do this.
This is quite scary, and it is my iPhone 7. Ready? Here goes.
And they look like this. We found that slim phone cases weren't that protective, and protective phone cases were ugly. So we designed a lot of phone cases. Carbon fiber ones, metal ones, curved ones, wooden ones, leather ones, you name it, we designed it. And we tested them on real iPhones. Some survived.
Oh my word.
Man, I hate doing this.
And some didn't. It got expensive. But in the end, we did it. Introducing Limitless by Mouse. A slim phone case with serious engineering that hasn't compromised on looks. This is London's Waterloo Bridge,
Higher up here than I thought it was.
a 35-foot drop.
Here we go.
Not even a scratch. How? Because we've engineered an advanced impact material, AeroShock. It's inside all our phone cases. A ball bearing that drops on regular plastic bounces. But on AeroShock, the energy is absorbed. The same thing happens in our phone cases. All our cases are seriously protective. So protective, we've dropped it from a crane onto concrete from 45 feet.
Their homes, shattering their windows. That is what made them come to the local news saying enough is enough. Please help us figure out what is going on. And as you saw, they have no idea. It's not natural. There were no earthquakes. And so this phenomenon continues. And I've got a lot of people really starting to wonder if something is happening underground, and that maybe that also may have something to do with these bright flashes of light that are being seen in the sky just before some of these booms, as if something is sort of coming down at a very high rate of speed, hitting the ground or going up underneath it, and that is what then causes the mysterious booms. And it's very reminiscent of the hit film War of the Worlds. I'm talking about, well, there's the older version, but my favorite is the 2005 Tom Cruise version, where they have these alien invaders who, unbeknownst to them, have been buried underground, underneath the earth, for hundreds of years, and the way they do it is, well, these alien machines ride lightning bolts down into the ground. And, you know, as eerie and crazy as it sounds, that fictional movie has a lot in common with what is being felt and seen around the world. For instance, we have another new clip, this time out of Cleveland, Ohio, and we actually have the boom and light on a surveillance camera. So check this out. The flash of light is more up toward the top, and then you will hear this massive explosion-like sound. Okay, so let me just go ahead and play the specific part right when the light flashes and then we hear the boom. I want you guys to hear it again. Alright, so again, happened in Cleveland. Another bright flash in the sky, followed by a window-shattering boom, with reports of people feeling the aftershock of this thing rumbling underneath their floorboards, down in the dirt. Now, that would tell me that there's something more going on, not just above the ground, but below. And, it reminds me, whether these objects and these booms are created by something coming from the sky and hitting the dirt, it could also mean, and I've put this theory forth many times, as have many other viewers, which is that there is some sort of super secret underground construction happening virtually from east to west underneath the continental U.S., and I'm talking about some possible railway system or tunneling system that has been built and has been in the process of being built for over 50 years now. Now, if you remember some years back, a secretive map was leaked online that depicted an area on the west coast where a number of these underground tunneling systems were being built in secret. And you're seeing that map here. Now, it's said that these tunneling systems and the circled areas that they are linking to are various deep underground secretive bases, where, suffice it to say, some heavily classified stuff is going on. And so let's just say for a minute, well, we don't really have anything to back this map up. We don't know where it came from. It could have, some kid could have drawn it up on MS Paint and released it online. Well, yeah, that's possible. But I'm going to tell you why I think that this map is definitely legitimate. And it goes back to an interview I did, and a couple of videos in fact, where I spoke about something called the Missing 411. You guys will know it by the title of a book, a number of books called The Missing 411, created by the author David Paulides. I even had him on the channel and did an interview with him. And basically in this book, this guy, this former cop, mapped out every single mysterious disappearance that has happened in, near, or around our national parks. Because, believe it or not, a lot of people on Earth, and specifically in the United States, go missing every year. We're talking thousands upon thousands of people, a lot of them near or in these giant forests, these national parks, never seen again. And in many of these instances, there are a lot of strange and unexplainable circumstances. For instance, a little boy goes missing, couldn't be more than 2 or 3 years old, at the bottom of a 10,000-foot mountain. So there's this huge search of the area. He isn't found. And it isn't until just a day or two later that the boy's remains are found some 50 miles away from the place that he went missing. And not only that, is found 10,000 feet up at the top of this mountainous ridge. And we're talking about a 3-year-old boy. We're talking about a toddler that, let alone, would not have been able to traverse a distance of 50 miles within just a day or two on foot, not to mention scale up a 10,000-foot mountain. And so that's just one of the mysterious stories and disappearances around these areas. And if you haven't seen those videos I've done, I'll put a link to both of them down in the video description. One I'll put to the Mr. Paulides interview, as well as the video that I've done on these national forests. And so, going back to this map that was supposedly leaked showing these underground tunneling systems, we were amazed to find that after putting this map over top a map that was created by Mr. Paulides in the Missing 411, where he has mapped out where all of these disappearances happen, which oddly enough seem to always happen in clusters and in certain areas. And what was found out was that when placing this map directly over his map, a lot of these secret bases that these underground tunneling schematics connect to are damn near right in the areas of these massive clusters of missing people. Now, mind you, these maps were created some years apart, but as you look, you will notice that in many areas of these connecting tunnels, you will find these clusters of missing people that were mapped out and investigated by Mr. Paulides on his map here. So, that certainly leads me to want to investigate more and figure out that, if there are these deep underground bases and tunneling systems and underground work that has continued to this day, and in the same areas where we have predominantly been hearing these mysterious booms as of late, all around the west coast where this map is, but now we're seeing it go out to the east. And it would only stand to reason that once they completed this underground work on the west coast, they would start to expand out to the east, which is where we are now getting these massive underground rumbles. Again, sometimes followed by lights in the sky, but many of them don't. And so has this secretive construction continued out to the East Coast? Or on the other side of the coin, could these underground rumblings be caused by these flashes of light, something entering our atmosphere from space, slamming down into the dirt and burying itself, which then causes this shaking? I don't know, but I'm just trying to put the pieces together because these cases have continued and continued. And we're going to continue following it here on the channel. So anybody from Girard, Ohio, or up in Cleveland, if you've experienced this stuff and you have any more information, send me an email or post it down below. We're going to stay on it. Something is not right here. And, we'll keep following it along with your help. That's why I'm glad to have my Insomnia team here with me, because I couldn't do it without you guys. So with that, that is all I have for you guys today. Be sure to stick right here with the channel, turn on notifications, follow me on Facebook and Twitter for updates as to when new videos are coming, and I will see all of you back in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.
Most people work more hours doing a job they hate than they spend doing the things they love.
Alright, hey, what's up guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. So the first story I want to talk about today was something strange that's been coming to me from a couple different sources regarding what was called in the news a meteor that was seen burning up through the atmosphere over Michigan last night. Now, the footage that you're seeing here is of that alleged object. It's been featured in the mainstream news, Washington Post, so it did indeed occur. Something was seen blasting through the sky. Again, there was a massive flash of light, a loud boom. We've been talking about this a lot lately. A lot of mysterious booms and sounds and flashes of light happening around the world, many of them not accompanied by meteorites, but it would seem here that something's burning up. And so there's a few strange things that have come to me regarding this incident. Okay, first, obviously, there was a rumble over the southeastern area of Michigan last night on Tuesday. A, quote, rumble that shook the earth, a bright burst of light illuminating the sky, and obviously afterwards, locals left wondering what the heck had happened. Mr. Danny McEwen Jr. told the Detroit News, quote, "I went to turn and I noticed a ball of flame coming at an angle. It just blew up in a bunch of sparks. I didn't even know what to think. It was kind of odd how orange the sky was behind me and this blaze of flame out of nowhere." Now, the United States Geological Survey reported that there was an equivalent of a magnitude 2.0 earthquake, along with NASA officials who later came out with a simple explanation of it being a meteoroid entering the Earth's atmosphere at about 8:08 p.m. And what we're seeing here, at least in it, does look like a meteor, or an object, okay? We've had space junk, and we've had other objects entering the atmosphere that look similar to what a meteor looks like. So I guess we'll just have to take NASA's word for it. But what was more strange to me were the emails that I started receiving from people around Michigan, one in particular, who sent me a couple of different photographs, who said at the same time that this happened, this was witnessed in the skies over Taylor, Michigan last night. So it occurred right at the exact time that this supposed meteor hit, but there's something very different here than what we're seeing in that video. Here, we are seeing one of these elongated, vertical, red beams of light reaching up from the ground up into the clouds. Now, when I first saw this, I said, I've seen these before, and sure enough, there are many other news stories from around the world where people have witnessed these strange, many times it'll just be one single vertical beam of light, almost like a laser, coming up or coming down from the heavens. Now, here is another one of the photographs that were sent to me, as well as posted to a file sharing, an image file sharing website called Imgur, or IMGUR. And this looks almost like a giant fireball appearing over the horizon here with, again, this beam of light. Now, I don't know if this is the same meteor. At first, I thought maybe this was the sun. But again, these all look to be taken around the same time, and it looks like, nighttime.
If you want to day trade, do it right and don't lose your money. Learn how to trade from the CEO of Warrior Trading, who lost a ton of money until he finally figured out the right trading strategies and then became a millionaire.
And then the third photograph here was, it looks to be in some sort of residential neighborhood. We have people standing outside on a phone looking down the street at something that's glowing down at the end of the street here. It almost looks like fire. It looks similar to what is being shown in this photograph here. And so when I saw that, okay, I said, obviously there's something going on here. People are out on the phone watching it. And then I started hearing reports about how this so-called meteor that came out of the sky had actually landed in a residential area and actually set a truck on fire, someone's truck or garage or something like that. And then so I did some further research and saw that there had been an article posted about it claiming that a meteor did not hit a garage in Taylor and catch it on fire. So apparently a fire had destroyed a pickup truck inside of a garage in the Metro Detroit community, where crews were called to the fire at about 8:24 p.m., so right around the same time of this so-called meteor coming down. And I'm guessing these are the pics of that fire that we're looking at here, along with this strange beam of light going up to the sky. But, yeah, they felt the need to post a news story about it and how this had nothing to do with that. So I've got sources saying that this did have something to do with the object, and that it was followed by this mystery of vertical light reaching up to the sky. So basically, it appears that we have two different stories as to what happened here. First, we have what NASA, and I know you can't trust them as far as you can throw them most of the time, what they're saying is a meteor, okay? We have this footage here of obviously something streaking through the sky, but then we have these other photographs of a strange beam of light, vertical red beam of light, along with this fire that occurred. So my question is, what is this beam of light? What caused this fire? Does it have something to do with this meteor, alleged meteor? Was it a meteor at all? Or is this two separate things, the red beam of light and the meteor, that happened right around the same exact time? And so that's what I wanted to post today about. Something strange, it seems, happened over Michigan. I don't know what. I'm still trying to dig for details. But if any of you guys out there have seen something similar, don't hesitate to shoot me an email. As I said, we've seen these strange beams of light all over the world before. Sometimes they have something to do with ice crystals in the atmosphere, but usually then you'll see multiple beams of light when that happens. But a lot of the times it's just one. And it's really mysterious to look at. So, anyone over Michigan, if you have any more info about what happened last night, post it down below or send me an email and let me know what you guys think. Now, in other news, if you guys remember in yesterday's video, we were talking about the alert that came across everyone's screens in Hawaii saying that there was an incoming ICBM. People started hitting the deck over that. It was later found out that some guy had, quote, pushed the wrong button, which I honestly don't believe. And then what do you know? Just the next day, Japan sends out a similar alert of a false missile warning, which they then retracted. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So here, as reported, false alarm, Japan Broadcasting Company mistakenly sends an incoming ICBM alert, telling people to take shelter. So, okay, this false alarm came just 2 days after the false alarm in Hawaii. So 2 days later, issuing the message on their website and on Twitter, urging people to take shelter, the company then deleted its tweet and issued a correction and apologized several times on air. It said that the mistake in using the alert system caused the error, whatever that means. But here we go again, guys. What is going on? First we have Hawaii. Now we have Japan. I mean, I would understand if this would happen once. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe someone they need to fire right away over this. But Japan, 2 days later, sending out the same alert? I mean, what is going on? I mean, does this still sound like a coincidence? Or does it seem like they're testing something? I don't know. It seems to me like there's something else going on. I don't know what it is. And while we're on the topic of major government screw-ups, on the Hawaiian front, these people who sent out the false alert 2 days ago are under fire once again after posting a photograph with the password to the Hawaii Emergency Agency written on a Post-it note sticking on one of their computer monitors. So this was discovered after the false alert was put out. Obviously, people started investigating, and that's when they discovered that as part of the Emergency Management Agency's news article in July, they posted this photograph of this genius standing here, and in the background, right in full view of everyone, the password to the entire emergency system. Just stuck there on a Post-it note. I mean, forget about posting the photograph of it, so they have to post Post-it notes in order to remember a password to an emergency alert system? Oh man, I mean, I'm speechless. I really don't know what else to say at this point. Can it get any worse? And probably it can. I probably just jinxed myself saying that, and it probably will. But I think this just goes to show how secure, quote unquote, these government agencies are. And of course, they're trying to brush it off by saying the password was to a piece of software that they no longer use. Obviously, they're going to say that. They've taken so much flack already. So, you know, they're just trying to save face. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Can it get any worse? So, I want to thank you all for stopping by today, and be sure to stick around because I have another video in the works containing some very mysterious new UFO sightings happening around the world. So I'll be working on that today. I'll have the video up likely tonight, so look out for it, subscribe, stay tuned, and I will see you all back in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.
My name's Ross Cameron, and I'm the founder of Warrior Trading. Last year, I set out to prove that with the right education and a proven system, anyone could turn even the smallest amount of money into financial